Okay, welcome. You're up to Module 6 right now. That means that you really only have one more module after this, which is Module 7. The next 2 weeks will focus on assessment in the online environment. And what's nice about this module, just like many of the other ones, is that there's overlap to the face-to-face classroom. So different ways that you can assess student learning through both formative and summative assessments. So without further ado, I will dive into some of the nuts and bolts of what you need to work on over the next couple of weeks. And what I did was I went ahead and I structured a couple of things a little bit different because there are two discussion forums in this module, so I readjusted one of the due dates. And we'll get to that in just a moment. All right, so this module, again, we focus on assessment in the online environment. And our learning objectives are to obviously differentiate the similarities and differences between successful online and face-to-face assessment, identify the requirements, responsibilities, as well as the advantages of an academic honesty policy. Most districts and schools already have that in place, but it's one of those things that we need to further emphasize and clarify for our students in the online environment. Explore and integrate current Web 2.0 tools. You'll continue an exploration, and in this one, you'll actually be looking at a variety of different tools and have some options to choose from for your portfolio assignment in this module. And then review and demonstrate best practices of grading rubrics. So for Module 6, you'll be working on 3 assignments. You have 2 discussions and the 1 project-based assessment portfolio assignment this coming Wednesday the 18th. And then the final response is due Sunday the 22nd. Our project-based assessment, the culminating assignment in this particular module, will be due 2 weeks from now, April 29th. And then our module discussion, the initial post, which will be our second week of this module, due Wednesday, April 25th, and responses will be due April 29th. So for 6.1, the assignment conversion, there's a video within the module that you'll watch. It's called Soil Superheroes, and your goal is to really reflect on what happens in that particular activity and how you could facilitate that in an online class. So this is a way to stretch your thinking a little bit. And then for the discussion post, your initial response, just write a short reflective paragraph that identifies some of the tools that could be used for the various project stages. And clearly reflect on these questions. What part of the project do you think would be the most challenging online, and what parts could be improved based upon what you see there in the online environment? So again, this is a discussion, so you don't have to write it to a Dropbox or anything else. So with the 6.1 assignment conversion, again, initial post due April 18th, final responses due the 22nd. For 6.2, you have a project-based assessment. This is a portfolio assignment. And you're going to create a project-based assessment online that incorporates at least 3 Web 2.0 tools. You kind of did something similar with the Bloom's taxonomy activity, so this is really taking that and extending it further. Your project-based assessment should have clear learning objectives for the students, well-articulated directions for the students, and a rubric for the final project. You do need to create a student exemplar for original student example of the product or products. This will really help you through the process. This will take you a bit of time. This will definitely take the full 2 weeks to kind of get in and get working on it. But I think that it'll be valuable in the sense that you are at least getting hands-on with the tools and learning and finding resources and sharing ideas back and forth. So let me jump on over so you guys can see what we're looking at with that. So with the Module 6, there are examples under 6 examples right there. Okay, so for 6.2 examples on the page there, make sure you look through these examples. This will show you some really good exemplars of what you can do. There's a couple of examples there. that are exceptional. Then there is also, under the main assessment page for our Module 6, is the rubric, which you'll definitely want to review the rubric for Module 6, especially for 6.2. Make sure that you're familiar with that. And then going back, you'll want to also look at the exemplar sites. Look at what Jenny Thomas did. If you look at the project-based assessment on hers, this will show you a good example of what can be done. So then there's also Steve Politzer's and Dennis Large's examples. So make sure you check those out. There are a couple of things that are pretty useful for you. There's a VoiceThread guide. If you've never used VoiceThread, there's a way you can learn some things about that. If you want to learn more about using VoiceThread as an assessment, a Google search for that should pull it up pretty quickly. So if you do VoiceThread as assessment, there's so lots of interesting blogs and articles about that. So go ahead and read that. And then over here on page 5 within the module content materials, you have the Web 2.0 tools and project-based learning, and they show you the different types of ways that you can conduct online assessment, along with links to examples of how it's being used, then also student examples. So make sure that you check those out as well, and the resources there, 102 Web 2.0 tools for educators. Know that this is not a comprehensive list. There's just no way to do that. The web is too vast now, and there's a ton of different things out there that can be used. My suggestion is find something that you believe works well for your content area. Find those 3 tools that would work well for different types of assessment. But also don't be afraid to use the discussion forum within this module to ask for help from myself and from your peers. I know that a lot of us have different experiences with different tools, and so through that, one of us can certainly help you all get on track and also give you the pros and cons of working with different tools. So with that, this one's a 2-week, or you definitely want to spend the 2 weeks on this. This is really, more of a culminating project here when you think about it, or a capstone project. So make sure that that this is representative of you, the educator. It doesn't necessarily have to be flashy and wow, as you'll see, I believe, on Steve Politzer's. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of graphics and text, but what ultimately matters is how you're assessing and what you're using to assess the students. So that's it for this particular module. Let me jump forward here to review the due dates again. There we go. Oops. The due date for this one is the 29th, Sunday the 29th. So you have 2 weeks from now. And then for the module 6.3 discussion, please discuss your thoughts on assessment in the online environment, cheating, or anything else you picked up from the module readings. Initial post on this one is due Wednesday the 25th. The final response is due the 29th. And then after this, you're stepping into Module 7, which is really primarily a reflection. You're going to read the module materials, you're going to do a reflection, and then we're ready to rock and roll on portfolios. So you guys are pretty much getting there. That's awesome, and I'm really excited to see you all get there. And I'm really enjoying watching the growth and the learning that's taking place with some of you guys. I think it's been pretty exciting. So questions, make sure you use the discussion forum. If you feel that you need to if it's a private question, don't hesitate to ask me personally or email me personally. And there is my contact information, 714-512-2355, or my Skype ID. Now, I will be on a WASP visitation the next few days, so bear with me on my response time. It's going to be a little more challenging the next few days because apparently my time is not my own. But I will do my best. Thanks a whole bunch, and I'll talk to you soon.